Parkour is very hard to classify as a sport. It is not competitive, but more like an art form. David Bell, the man who founded parkour for the rest of the world from France, told us that parkour is getting from one obstacle to another as you would in an emergency situation in the most energy-efficient time and obviously quickest. A traceur is basically a person who is running through doing parkour. Traceur is actually French for to trace or to draw, but it was used as slang because you would trace and draw a path and try to get there as fast as you could. Parkour is also known to have an influence over the thought processes of most traceurs. For example, they help to analyze your critical thinking skills, whether the objects be physical or mental. When you land in parkour, what you want to do is land on the balls of your feet and on the toes. If you land on the rest of your foot, you can risk hurting your ankles and legs. Also, you do not want to put your knees past the 90-degree angle because it can really put a strain on your kneecaps and ankles. If you are jumping from an especially high height, you might consider trying to roll, which we'll have some examples of that as we go. A roll is primarily used when you are jumping from a higher height, where you cannot merely land on your toes. A roll helps to transfer the momentum into a forward direction so that you can immediately regain and keep going, therefore using energy in a more efficient way. Parkour is a variation of many different types of jumps, vaults, and climbs. For example, the Kong vault is when one runs up to an obstacle, jumps so their body is horizontal like this, sticks their hands on the object, and pushes off so that they land and can keep going. Another would be the tic-tac, where one runs up to a wall, pushes off with the foot in order to gain higher ground so they can grab onto the ledge. A Kong vault is when you basically run up to an object, jump so your body is nearly horizontal, throw your hands down onto the object like so, and then either shove off with your hands to keep the forward momentum or dive through your hands in a different kind of vault. The ones I'm doing, I shove off because the object is lower than what I needed. When you land, you do not want to have your knees past 90 degrees. If you do, you can severely risk hurting your ankles, your kneecaps, and the tendons in your feet. Here are some examples of some rolls. Tic-tac is when you run at a wall, shove your foot into it, and then push off so you get increased height and so you grab onto the ledge.